Hi, welcome to another episode of More to Media on Daily Ad Brief. I'm your host, Jeff Swartz, and I have a fantastic guest with me today, Brandon Rea, who is the VP of Sales over at Vibrant Media up in out of Detroit area. And thanks for being on, Brandon.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jeff.
So let's jump into the 30-second commercial. What is Vibrant Media?
Vibrant Media is a digital technology company that specializes in contextual. So meaning that we will deliver an ad adjacent to content that advertiser is interested in. So for instance, if we are talking about the Ford F-150, we're going to look at content that has reviews about a Ford F-150, whether it's positive or negative. We can actually understand that and then deliver a marketing message that might, if it's positive, discuss a retail offer, $199 a month lease special, or two, it might talk about accolades and awards related to quality if it's potentially a negative article.
Awesome. And do you have a ideal customer that that kind of fits this model that you see works really, really well with the contextual side of things?
Well, frankly, because we have the ability to target essentially based on the dictionary, most industries can take advantage of this type of advertising. However, we are really seeing a lot of pharmaceutical leaning in, mainly because they have so many issues regarding privacy. So we don't use cookies or any types of, privacy related technology. We're all looking at things in a real-time basis and making sure that we deliver the right ad within the right content. And so based on all of the different laws that pharmaceutical has to deal with, we're seeing just a lot of activity come from them. But I mean, whether it's retail, food and beverage, financial services, automotive, etc., there's certainly quite a few of use cases, but pharma seems to be really, really interested in this right now.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense with what you're providing and how it's targeting. It also is really nice because of all the questions around going cookieless, that you don't have to rely on those and still get a really good service and product out there. So what are some of the major updates or changes that you see within the marketing and advertising realm in the next couple of years?
Well, it's definitely related to the cookie and privacy. So, with Google and Apple really kind of leading the charge with the deprecation of the cookie and allowing marketers to use that, there's just a sweeping amount of changes where we're finding that it's going away from audience-based targeting and more towards contextual-based targeting. And that's across the board, whether it's regarding digital or TV. Everybody's trying to understand what is going to be the repercussions of all of this audience-based targeting and where are they going to move the money and how are they going to find a good tactic with all of that. So, it's going to be very interesting on how, companies like ours continue to thrive and how other companies are going to need to pivot and kind of have that same type of offering, or else they might be looking at things in the wrong direction. So.
Yeah, and it's really neat to have something that's working, that's instead of having to re-engineer something because the landscape is changing. So that's an awesome opportunity and leverage point that you have for your customers and clients compared to some of the people who are a lot more cookie dependent and come and run into some of those privacy issues. I wanted to switch gears just really quickly for the end of the interview because you've spent a lot of time in sales on the advertising and marketing side of things, and there's a lot of rejection that comes into that. So I want to focus on a little bit of mental health as a component, because rejection is something a lot of people fear. And I think that's healthy to get a perspective of somebody who has to deal with it as part of their job for people who are maybe a creative who's kind of worried about if their creative is going to be accepted, or strategy, and they're wondering, should I put this in front of somebody, or did they think that it wasn't that good? How do I handle that? What are some of your takes on going into a situation where you may be rejected, and then also how do you handle it if you do get a no?
It's always about preparation. You have to do your homework. You have to understand who your audience is at the end of the day. Are we talking about somebody that is a high-level decision maker that is going to need to take something to a team to vet and understand it a little bit more? Or are you talking to a gatekeeper that is, really just in charge of setting up a meeting, and they really have no skin in the game? So there's a lot of preparation that's involved, and I feel like that is becoming more and more important to find the time to do your homework. But as far as, once you get into it and, facing rejection, at the end of the day, man, it sounds a little cliche, but you have to have a short-term memory. If it didn't work out, forget it. On to the next one. You holding on to something like that, negativity will fester with you. So you need to just immediately get on to the next one. As far as, kind of then the whole idea of, well, what if I'm not confident in this offering? Well, another age-old expression is, you miss 100% of the chances that you don't take. So you have to swing, and you have to be a meaningful swing. Frankly, you might surprise yourself, making that decision for somebody else and not taking that opportunity to present yourself or your offering, is not going to go anywhere. So you really have to again, prepare, take your best swing at it. And if things don't go your way, have a short-term memory.
Yeah, goldfish brain is what I call it. You can dwell on it for maybe a little bit, then forget about it, because it's usually not even a reflection on you. It's just a lot of other reasons why maybe someone said no or had a difference of opinions, and it's not that big of a deal. So, Brandon, we're at
L's
time
are
now.
not losses. Sorry, I was just going to say, L's are not losses, they're learnings, right? So.
Yep, absolutely. So I really appreciate the time learning more about your company and also sharing that little tidbit as well, which I think is very helpful. Thanks for being on More to Media, man.
Thank you, sir.
And if you want to get connected with Brandon, we're going to have all his information at dailyadbriefs.com. Go there, check it out. They have some really cool, he'll be able to talk with you about some really cool capabilities with that contextual side of advertising, as well as maybe doing a powwow if you're in the sales side of things as well too. So thank you for watching this episode of More to Media on Daily Ad Brief. Again, I'm your host, Jeff Swartz, and we'll see you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.